What if you could hear your favorite song for the first time again? Introducing the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks. With an available Bose Personal Plus sound system that uses speakers in the headrest to create a 360-degree listening experience. You've never heard anything like this. Reimagine your music and your drive. Experience the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks for yourself at nissanusa.com today.
Available feature. Bose is a registered trademark of the Bose Corporation.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
This is Optimal Relationships Daily. How to Find Time to Read as a Busy Mom, Part 2, by Cara Harvey of apurposedrivenmom.com. Using ebooks and e-readers to read as a busy mom. Another way to sneak in reading time is to use an ebook or an e-reader. I love to hold an actual book, so my preferred method of reading is to do it rationally, but I've gotten so many books to read on e-readers. When I was up late nursing my son, I put my phone on bedtime or dim mode and could read a few pages. When I'm waiting to pick up my daughter from school, I can spend a few minutes reading instead of scrolling social media. If we're waiting in line at the doctor's office or the kids are playing at the library or mall, I can easily sneak in some pages while they play. We often think that if things don't look perfect in the way we picture them in our heads, that we shouldn't even bother. But I want to give you permission to get rid of that type of thinking. Forget that you want things to be perfect and work to make things workable for your season of life. Don't give up on things and hobbies that make you happy, but instead find ways to fit them into your life in a way that makes sense. Creating a habit of reading with your kids. It is really important to me that we create lifelong readers with our kids. I grew up loving to read. Books were my sanctuary for a long time, and still love to do it. And while I know I can't force my hobbies on my kids, I want to do my best to encourage them to read as much as possible, to love to learn and question, and to see reading being modeled for them. When my daughter was a super tiny newborn, I would read from my personal development books out loud to her each day. We read every single night before bed and numerous times during the day. And my daughter knows that after her brother goes down for a nap, it's reading time. These are all habits you can create with your family. If you start now to make it the norm that after dinner, instead of all retreating to separate rooms or going right to the TV, everyone gets a book and does 15 minutes of reading, it can become the norm. I've been reading a lot lately about the power of the read aloud for all ages, and am looking to incorporate more read aloud in our day. We just picked up our first set of chapter books from the library. We're reading the Mercy Watson series, and now I read a chapter a day after breakfast. Work with your kids to have them read before the TV or electronics get turned on every day. In the beginning, it will seem like so much more work for you. But know, as the year goes on, it can and may rub off on them. Even at 3 years old, my daughter knows the routines and what we do during reading time. My 17-month-old son knows that if he grabs a book and brings it to me, I'll read it. You can also create a morning basket where they can pick books out for the week, and you grab them after breakfast. Each kid gets the chance to grab books that they want, and you can read a few aloud each day. Encourage your kids to start reading aloud as well. Even though my daughter can't read, I've taught her that she can look at a story and make up the words just fine. Repeated reading is another great way to get them into a reading habit. The more you read a story with your kids, the more they remember the words. After months and months of reading Old Hat, New Hat, my daughter can read the whole thing without knowing the words. Our kids are adaptable and capable of much more than we give them credit for. Decide what you want reading to look like in your home and work to create the structure around it. It won't always be perfect. You might not always get time to read, and you'll probably get frustrated. But don't let that stop you from doing something that will fill your cup and make you feel good about taking care of yourself. Reading habits that make reading fun. To make your reading habit fun and stick, start with creating a list of books that you want to read. Get recommendations from friends or use Goodreads to see what people are liking. When I first got back into the habit of reading, I had to test out a few genres to see what I liked. I remember loving young adult novels, but that really isn't what I gravitate towards. Check out the top lists and read 1 to 3 in that genre before deciding whether you think that's where you want to invest your time. And don't be afraid to stop reading a book. I can't tell you how many books I try so hard to finish just because I started. This holds me back from my reading goals and makes reading so much more of a chore again. Speaking of reading goals, make sure you make some. Think about how much reading you're doing now and make a realistic goal for yourself. If you haven't read a book in 6 months, making a goal to finish 1 book in a month is huge. If you're already reading a book a week, try to double that. I also suggest starting a book quote journal or Trello board. I use Trello because I can take pictures of quotes or screenshots on my phone and upload them directly. Each book gets its own card and I can add quotes, thoughts, or ideas right there. This makes it easy to go back to and reference later, particularly if I borrowed the book from the library. You just listened to part 2 of the post titled, How to Find Time to Read as a Busy Mom by Cara Harvey of apurposedrivenmom.com.
The #1 selling product of its kind with over 20 years of research and innovation. Botox Cosmetic, onabotulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
Streaming December 12th on Peacock. Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie are back.
That's hot. Loves it.
For a show-stopping reunion that will prove putting on an opera is anything but simple.
We're really good at this.
One thing's for sure, they won't be upstaged.
Good to have you back. Come on, we've got a show to do.
Paris and Nicole, The Encore, a 3-part reunion special, streaming December 12th, only on Peacock.
Making everyone happy on vacation isn't easy, but you know what is? Going to Aruba. All you have to do is walk out your door to find pristine pools, relaxing white sand beaches, and an island teeming with outdoor activities that'll put a smile on any face. You won't just feel great, you'll all feel great, filled with a calmer, more peaceful vibe that radiates Aruba's warmth. And the best part is, it never fades. That's the Aruba effect. Plan your family trip at Aruba.com.
A great finish to this post, how to get the kids involved. As much as it's crucial for parents to have their own identities outside of their children, doing so is a healthy practice that kids would benefit from learning. And let's face it, they're going to watch you like a hawk anyway. This post goes to show how living your own lifestyle can be done both independently, but also in a way that's inclusive of your children and good for their learning. It goes without saying that reading is a great habit for kids and adults alike. But what we must also remember is that bonding over something specific like this opens up a new relationship we can have with our children. There are new talking points. There are now new ways to learn and new ways to relate. It allows for new and unique conversation that's reflective of a friendship. And separating parenting children from befriending children is a good approach and one that does not take away from your duties to raise them properly. Not to mention it's the kind of balance that will help us to successfully transition into adult relationships with them once they've aged and are out of the house and starting their own lives. And with that, another great one in the books, people. Thank you so much for listening all week, and I hope to see you again in tomorrow's episode, where your optimal life awaits.